Well, hello and welcome to I Love Energy Medicine. My name is Nick Hansinger. I'm the president of Energy Mastery. I'm here with
Sheevaun Moran, and I'm the CEO and founder of Energy Mastery.
Well, I am excited to talk about what we're going to talk about today, which is really about completing things and not leaving that awkward pause in our lives and getting ourselves into trouble and into chaos doing that. So one of the things we're talking right now, actually we have an online group of graduates, and we're doing a little chaos challenge, not challenging people to create chaos in their life, but really challenging them to explore the patterns of chaos in their life. And this is one of the things that I've noticed coming up is making commitments and then not following through. So Sheevaun, I'm wondering if you can talk first and foremost just about the energy behind that. Like what is that energy, and what does that create in people's lives? A lot of times we get real excited and we start something and then it stops. We make a commitment and then we don't follow through. Well, what does that actually do?
Yeah, that's so important. It's like saying to your soul, you know what you're telling me is absolutely 100% wrong. So shush, because I, the little human, totally know way better than you. And the soul's like, okay. Let's just see how long that goes. And then you have another little soul spark or a soul moment. And she's like, oh, wait, I was doing this other thing. So it's really what happens, like once we leave school, is we're not being dictated to. And we're not being harassed basically to get a good grade, but harnessed in to a container. So when we go out in our own container, we actually don't think of our soul as the spark and our light as the guide and the energy that is around it. I know I'm getting out there a little bit, but that's okay. And not really going to stay true to that. You're actually going to follow somebody else's energy. It's easy to do on Facebook, right? It's easy to do on Twitter. It's easy to do in any political situation that's happening on the planet right now. Or anytime, really, to get into somebody else's energy and start going down their energetic path or something that somebody else takes you down. And so you can't even really hear what the soul is doing. The soul's like, and I'm waiting. And you'll circle around back again, and I'm waiting. And it's giving you impulses and insights all the time, but you're like, nope, I'm going to do this other thing. I have heard this so many times. So many times. We have a couple people in our tribe who have been in my sphere for many, many, many years. And finally, they're just like, oh, I should have listened before. Right? You've seen them.
I have. And I've seen the results of not following through with that. And it's always a very interesting moment to see someone step away from that calling.
Yeah.
And one of the most common patterns I've seen is it goes good for a little while and they're excited and they're empowered and they're like, I got this. And then things start to spin out. And sure enough, we'll see them a year, 2 years, sometimes even more than that down the road. And that is the exact words that come out of their mouth. I should have listened when I knew. Yeah. And so many things come in the way. Now you bring up a really interesting dynamic there about not only our education system, but the corporate system as well that many people move into, or the university system as well, that is, okay, this is you follow the curriculum, you follow the program, this is exactly what you do. You do this. And then, but we also see an influx of people getting in and starting their own businesses and getting into the entrepreneurial world. And boy, that's a really tricky transition because it's all that old programming and all of those things.
But then they're in somebody else's energetic container, which is what I was talking about. So they're living somebody else's energy, and they actually don't know how to be their own soul empowered, true selves, even though they're striving and I wouldn't say they're actually crying for that to be the reality that they live.
Right. And it's almost kind of sneakier in that sense because there's a conscious level of like, no, I'm my own business owner and I'm making all the decisions here, without that recognition that, oh, I'm kind of getting wrapped up in this person. Like, it's a more subtle sort of thing, I think, that I see.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, and that's why one of the first few things that we teach people is, are those six free videos.
Right. And in those videos, it's really about cleaning up your own energetics on a certain level to be able to be more true to you.
And just get started and get away from, all of the chatter and get more into your own realm, your own lane. Yeah.
Yeah. And so when people get off these on their own trains, I see a couple things happen, but probably the biggest one is breaking commitments to themselves. And then certainly is breaking commitments with others. And I know that if one is happening, then the other one's happening too.
Yeah, and we've actually learned the energetic pattern from somebody else, and we actually see it around us all the time. So rather than staying true to the course of the action that we have committed to, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, relationally, financially, it's nope, going to go do this other thing. Yep, it's easier. Let's just do that. And the pattern is energetic, and it will repeat until it gets solved or resolved. And that's the second half of the energy mastery training, is how to resolve that. Because I got super frustrated when I would see people repeating the same thing, and I was just like, wait a minute, the energy is, oh yeah, okay, great. So there is another dynamic, and so we created a piece to that to unwind that and get people out of that same habitual quitting, etc. I want to make sure, I had a little thought a moment ago. You were saying that people get in a long cycle of getting away from things. The reason they have monks and nuns and so on and so forth in like the Eastern culture be 20 years before they get out is because it takes them 20 years to harness all of their brain and whatever they're trying to do. So now we have to live out. We're not allowed to live in the monastery, so now we have to live out in the world, and then learn how to do this on our own. Anyway, we have solutions.
I thought, there's other ways to do that. You don't have to go spend 20 of your year's life, or 3 years of your life, or even a year or a month. Off
maybe
on
just 2 days,
tangent.
4 days,
2 to 4 days, and you can have those tools. And I think that's really important in our modern world, and also for people who want to really bring their higher calling into expression in the world. Because oftentimes that will involve working outside of a system and taking matters into your own hands and really creating something yourself. And you need the tools in order to be able to keep yourself on track. I think that's super important. And if you step out of it, well, you're out of it. You're out of the game for as long as that takes. So I'd like to, on this one, in the last few minutes that we have here, I'd like to offer something simple that people can do in order to start to clean this up for themselves and start to see themselves in a more consistent action as far as following through. And I'm wondering if you can just give an idea about where do you start with that? What can you do right now in your own life in order to make sure that you keep the energy moving towards your highest and your best?
Yeah, it's not isolate. It's not to, go hide in the closet, and it's not stay home all day. It is really about going and being engaged in the world and learning to disconnect in a proper way, learning to be in the world of the world and get your energetics cleaned up. So one of the things we teach is a wonderful disconnection technique, and a wonderful, very unique way of getting anchored and grounded and back into your own world and life. So I think we have a special link for folks with a couple of those videos that are going to help people get into that and use that right away.
Yeah, we can absolutely provide a special link for that. We'll put it up on iloveenergymastery.com, or we can send them directly to go to freekickstarter.com, just all one word, freekickstarter.com. And you'll find 6 videos there that are shared by Sheevaun, and she will teach you some amazing tools that will help you to stay in your own lane and help you stay true to yourself and not get sucked off into all these different tangents and things like that are taking you off your trail.
And then one of the things that I know on our website, we have a couple different options for folks. So I know there's just so much stuff there. We've been building it for the past year and a half. So I think it's important that they know where to find all that.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's on iloveenergymastery.com. And what you'll find there is options. Different places. The best thing to do is to have a conversation. I think having an objective voice that really and truly what we do, you can tell Energy Mastery is a high-touch organization. We really care about people finding their next right step, and your next right step may not be the other person's next right step. And the best way to do that is to have a conversation with somebody who's truly objective and also truly caring about you finding your right path and your right step. So that's how we do that, through conversations. And if you go there, you can find a link that will take you to a place that will allow you to fill out a form and then set up a conversation like that. So you can just go to iloveenergymastery.com and take it from there.
Super cool.
Anything else, Sheevaun?
No, so much we could keep going. We just have more to share with folks. So keep sharing, keep staying tuned, and I'm so grateful to be here. I'm so grateful for every person who ever showed up in my life that helped me share all of these stories.
I love that we get to have these conversations, because I'm getting to hear stories that I've never heard before, and that's really. And I know there's more. I can't wait to see what else.
There's so many. It's so cool. Well, I'll see you all on the inside. Namaste. Thanks, Nick.
Namaste.